The Surveyor and the Soldier. Washington's early career and the crucible of war. George Washington's journey from an ambitious young Virginian to the revered leader of a revolutionary nation did not begin on the battlefield, but in the forests and fields of colonial America. His early work as a surveyor opened doors to opportunity and self-reliance, while his military service during the French and Indian War forged his leadership through adversity and failure. These formative experiences shaped Washington's ambitions, resilience, and vision, qualities that would later define his role as the architect of American independence. Washington's early career as a surveyor, a young man of the land. After the death of his father, George Washington's prospects were limited by the traditions of inheritance and the realities of colonial Virginia. Lacking the wealth or formal education of many peers, Washington turned to practical skills. Surveying, a respected and lucrative profession, became his entry into adulthood. At just 16 years old, Washington joined a surveying party sent by Lord Fairfax, a wealthy landowner and family ally, to chart the wild lands of the Shenandoah Valley. The experience was demanding and dangerous. Washington spent weeks in the wilderness, traversing forests, rivers, and mountains, often in harsh weather and among unfamiliar peoples, gaining skills and confidence. Surveying required precision, endurance, and negotiation. Washington learned to read the land, measure boundaries, and interact with settlers, Native Americans, and colonial authorities. His surveys helped open new territories for settlement and speculation, and by age 17, he was appointed surveyor of Culpeper County, an impressive achievement for someone so young. This work brought Washington both income and respect. More importantly, it fostered self-reliance, adaptability, and a deep knowledge of the Virginia frontier, traits that would serve him well as a military leader and statesman. The French and Indian War, formative experiences and ambitions. A call to arms. By the early 1750s, the rival claims of Britain and France over North American territory brought the colonies to the brink of war. The Virginia governor sought to assert British interests in the Ohio Valley, and the ambitious 21-year-old Washington, already a leader in his community, was chosen as an emissary to the French. In late 1753, Washington undertook a perilous winter journey through the wilds of western Pennsylvania to deliver a message to the French demanding their withdrawal. Though the mission failed diplomatically, it showcased his courage, composure, and ability to operate in high-stakes situations. The battle at Fort Necessity. Washington's first real military command came in 1754, leading Virginia militia to build a fort, later called Fort Necessity. The encounter with French and Native American forces ended in disaster. Outnumbered, poorly supplied, and inexperienced, Washington and his men were forced to surrender. Though the defeat was humiliating, it was also educational. Washington gained first-hand experience of the challenges of leadership, logistics, and diplomacy in the field. He learned the importance of preparation, discipline, and realistic assessment, lessons sometimes learned only through adversity. Braddock's defeat and leadership in crisis. In 1755, Washington joined British General Edward Braddock's expedition to capture Fort Duquesne, now Pittsburgh. The campaign ended in a devastating ambush. Braddock was killed, and the British troops were routed. Amid chaos, Washington distinguished himself by organizing a retreat, rallying survivors, and displaying remarkable composure under fire. His bravery and resourcefulness won him public acclaim and a reputation as a rising colonial leader. Yet he also witnessed the flaws of British military arrogance and the complexities of frontier warfare, insights that would inform his later command in the Revolutionary War. Ambitions and frustrations. Despite his growing reputation, Washington's ambitions were often frustrated. The British Army refused regular commissions to colonial officers, and political infighting in Virginia limited his authority and resources. Washington resigned his commission in 1758, disillusioned but wiser. Learning from failure and adversity, resilience in the face of setbacks. Washington's early military career was marked by setbacks, defeat at Fort Necessity, wounds in battle, bureaucratic snubs, and the harsh realities of frontier conflict. Yet, rather than embitter him, These experiences deepened his resilience and self-discipline. He learned to adapt to changing circumstances, to listen to advice, and to temper ambition with prudence. His failures taught him humility, but also reinforced his determination to serve and lead. The lessons of adversity would become vital in the far greater trials ahead. A broader vision. Through his surveying and military service, Washington gained a breadth of experience rare among colonial Virginians. He came to understand the land, the people, and the political complexities of the colonies. He developed a network of influential connections, a reputation for integrity, and a sense of responsibility that extended beyond his own interests. Conclusion. Foundations for greatness. The years Washington spent as a surveyor and soldier were foundational. They provided him with practical skills, confidence, and a deep understanding of America's landscape and people. The crucible of failure and adversity forged his character, teaching him to lead with both resolve and humility. These early experiences did not guarantee Washington's future greatness, but they prepared him for it. When the call for independence came, he was ready, not just as a military commander, but as a leader who understood the land, the people, and the hard lessons required to shape a nation.